Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Sunday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Ullman along with the ace, Keith Fustel. We've got 8 on the card today, Keith. Nice diverse card. A little hot first-time starter later on. Some hard-hitting older campaigners and a rock-solid feature.
It is. We've got some really good races here today, and yeah, it's going to be interesting what this Brittany Russell horse brings to the table. The first-time starter. We'll talk about the breeding. Yeah, the seventh race, a pretty sharp group there of 6 going 6 furlongs. Speedy Elvis himself is in there today, but I'm looking forward to the card. I hope you had some luck yesterday. I want to thank everybody that was part of our racing card yesterday from the gambling standpoint. You know, really, the handle was solid yesterday. Early pick 5 pool, 56,000. That's what we want to see. The payouts are there. It paid 12.5. Get involved, people. 12% low takeout.
Can't beat it.
What more can we give you? You're getting great information. You go to the website, some really good free handicapping insight there from multiple people, and they do a great job. Nowhere else you're getting this much in-depth information. I don't think on our card or any of these cards in the country. I mean, we really put a lot of time and effort into that, Dan and the rest of the crew. So take advantage of it.
And you can access it, laurelpark.com/picks every racing day. Also free DRP past performances from Daily Racing Form on the website. So we're giving you free PPs. We're giving you free information. We're giving you a low 12% takeout. And again, we do thank you for coming out and supporting the product yesterday.
As I say, we've got people. We're not just dilly-dallying around. We're involved. I mean, we're monetarily involved pretty much each and every race here. So we're not just throwing information out there, just guessing. I mean, a lot of hard work goes into it. We'll play along with us. You're going to kind of have some ups and downs, but that's the great part of this game. But we want you involved, and we appreciate that. Yesterday, that was a really, really good handle.
Yedsit Hazelwood more yesterday?
Yeah. You McMahon with a couple. Yedsit with a great ride on Tamchar. I thought that was really good, the way he kind of patiently took back off of the other speed and worked outward. Saw the center of the track again. Okay, a good paths. 4 or 5 paths to make that run through the stretch. It was positive yesterday. Tops the chart off the claim. That was our value. Took a big hit late at the windows, but got it done for Kieran McGee again. And a couple good Schrader for McMahon and Yetsit. That was a big effort. I didn't see that coming.
And your horse from Parks shipped in, rallied from out of it under Torrealba. 2 for Torrealba yesterday.
2 for Torrealba, yes. Dixie Groove, a sustained 3 to 4 wide run to get it done.
Well, Preakness is right around the corner, and it's Preakness 150. It is going to be a celebration of the Triple Crown, a celebration of the city of Baltimore, a celebration of the state of Maryland, and a celebration of Pimlico Racetrack, because Preakness 150 will be the final Preakness at Old Hilltop. It's bittersweet because there are so many wonderful memories at the old Pimlico, but also it's the beginning of a new era here in Maryland.
Oh, yeah, and there's going to be plenty of events and festivals leading into Preakness 150. We'll definitely have more information on that as we get closer. But again, leading into that, how about the preview day coming up here at Laurel Park?
Really excited about the preview day. We do have stakes races next weekend, Saturday, April the 12th, but our big day is Preakness Preview Day, Saturday, April the 19th. Not only are there 2 win todays, see in May races, the Tessio, winner gets an automatic berth in the Preakness, Weber City Miss, winner gets an automatic berth in the Black Eyed Susan, but you do have your handicapping challenge. It's a $500 buy-in. You can learn more at laurelpark.com. It's a hybrid contest online, but come on out. It should be a nice day of racing and play at the track. Also, opportunities to gain entries into the 2 most prestigious handicapping contests in the world today, the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge and the National Handicapping Championship. They're fun.
Yeah, they're fun, and you get a couple guys together if you want to. We're not going to rat you out and get yourself a buy-in and put your brains together and then try to get it done and go on to bigger and better things. But yeah, 58 minutes until post time. We're glad you're with us here on Today at the Races. We ready to take a look at the weather?
Weather's holding up. I like it.
Okay.
Track is fast. First post, of course, 12:10. Temperature right now at 60 degrees. It's supposed to get warmer. We're going to have some overcast skies, and hopefully we'll hold off the rain. But I'm feeling optimistic, which is very unlike me.
No, come on now. You've been seeing the ball too. We had a couple good races yesterday, a couple good picks, and we're going to split a bucket. I know we had our little bet there yesterday with our top selections in race number 2, and your top selection got a little bit of trouble out of the gate, but a really good race between the two. And I think you got a $54 exact to pay out if you put those top picks together. So, again, thanks for playing along. And let's take a look at the first.
Race number 1, we're going 3/4 of a mile. It's a claiming race, 12-5 down to 10. Now winners at 2 life, fillies and mares. It remains intact with a field of 8. It is the first leg of our 12% takeout early value pick 5. Low takeout, and again, it's a 50-cent minimum wager. The payouts have been great recently, and again, we thank you for supporting the product. 12% takeout, can't go wrong.
Yeah, $56K in the pool yesterday. Let's beat it this afternoon if we can, right? $36 ticket I've got for you to get you started in this early value pick 5. Again, 12% takeout. 2 deep in the opener. The 4, Midsummer's Even. The 5, Mucho Tigger. Race 2, 3 deep. We're anticipating the beginning here of the career of Committed Games. We'll talk about that breeding in a sec. That firster for Brittany Russell. Scratch the 2 and the 5. I'm going to go 1, 3, 4. The experienced horses definitely have a legitimate shot in here. Race 3 with the 1, 2, and 5. A little stat for Bossy Kate in there. We'll talk about that one in a bit. 2 deep in races 4 and 5. You like 3s and 4s? We got them. 3, 4, 3, 4 to finish it up. A $36 early value pick 5. Again, 12% takeout. More stays to the gambler.
Let's start things off with race number 1. We have the same top selection. That's the number 5, Mucho Tigger, going out for J. Rod and J. Ness. And Mucho Tigger, I thought, had some excuses last time out, Keith. It was a long layoff, and he was chasing over a speed-favoring track.
Yeah, no doubt. East Boston Benny Metagooch, who came back to run well, a 65 for 25. This filly took on the boys last time. She's back with the girls today. I think, again, maybe a more fair racetrack, a track we can make up some ground from the quarter pole home. A little bit of speed in here. It's kind of tough to gauge who wants to go. I think Dine and Dash might go along with Bonds Bell. Lady Mosler's interesting on the surface, which has shown that speed last time on the synthetic. But Mucho Tigger, I think, will have enough targets. And this class drop, the confidence, I think, will be back and close in to get it.
I think you make a good point, because I think My Sugar Boo personally is the speed of this
well,
race, even though she's cutting back to 6 furlongs. Does it worry you that Mucho Tigger does have a tendency to be a step slow out of the gate, and with some speeds in here, there's a chance she could be outrun? Of course, they could all come back to her.
Yeah, I think she could be outrun a little bit into that far turn, but again, we've seen horses be able to get outside, ramp it up from the quarter pole home. This is a definite drop for her, okay? And Metagooch, as we saw, East Boston Bend, they were sharp last time at Colonial. I think she can kind of grind it out from the outside here with J-Rod. I got a lot of J-Rod horses today.
Lady Mosler also has a little bit of speed. She showed it last time out at Turfway Park. A little hard to trust with a 1 for 32 lifetime record, but she ran well the one time she started for Kieran McGee, albeit on turf last year. We do have a trainer stat for Kieran. First start after a 2 to 4 month layoff on dirt. 25% from 64 starters, a $2.38 ROI. I thought Lady Mosler ran pretty well over the synth last time out. Kind of battled it out with a horse that ended up tiring and cleared off to the lead. And the winner of that race came back to run 3rd with a 60 buyer. So good competition. I've always wondered, is she more of a turf synth horse, though?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, numbers-wise, it certainly proves that point. She did show a little speed at Timonium on the go back. I don't know how she's going to be involved in this race. Will it be towards the front? I lean that way, but I think you talk about she's going to have to deal with My Sugar Boo, maybe Bonds Bell. But you know what? Yeah, and this is something moving forward. And I said it out in the press box, and when these apprentice riders get hot, I'm not leaving Yetz at Hazelwood out of any exacta key box that I use. So we've got, 3-1. Not the best probably of value for Lady Mosler, but hard to ignore what this rider's bringing to the table right now.
We talked about Mucho Tigger getting the right race flow from the back of the pack. Doesn't it work for the 4 Midsummer's Eve as well? The last time she raced for a non-winners at 2 was 2 starts back, and I thought she ran really well with a 3-4 wide bid, second best to an odds-on winner, and then they hiked her into a non-winners at 3 life. She was just out of conditions that day. This drop helps.
Conditions definitely do matter. Back to the correct one today. She's a bigger and bigger mare. Down inside that day, drew the inside, maybe not super comfortable. I think Forrest will let the flow go early, take back, get out in the clear and just she doesn't have a big explosive move, but she's got a steady kind of run. She could definitely menace, and if she gets alongside, just might go ahead and wear you down.
Talk me on to Bonds Bell, who's hit the board in 80% of her starts, a lot of minor awards, but I guess that last race may be a little bit better than it looks down on the rail.
Yeah, yes, and I do want to see her kind of get involved earlier. She's got some races on her page where she's been up close right there after 3/8 of a mile. I think might be put into it a little bit sooner. See what Dine and Dash does. Might go ahead and get sent with Sarah DeFabro. You got a hungry rider, Barbosa back, trying to make an impact. I think he's going to be hungry and trying to get involved early and carry Bonds Bell to the wire.
We'll go with Mucho Tigger in the first, however. 5.426 for Keith, 5.642 for me. Second race is the second half of the early double. Let's take a look at the field. We're going a one-turn mile. It's a maiden special weight for 3 and up. Take out the 2 Let's Go JJ. Take out the 5 Christmas Spirit. And this is the first leg of our 50-cent early pick 4. We've got 2 pick 4s today, 50-cent minimum wager, and again, the way the prices have been going recently, the payouts have been extraordinary.
Been very, very good, and we're going to get you started here. The 1, Committed Games, a first-time starter for Brittany Russell, Lapenta, Madacat. The breeding certainly is there. You've got this horse making the first start at a mile, and one thing we've touched upon in the past, well, Brittany with all her firsters usually very, very good, but going a mile into dirt here at Laurel Park over the last couple of years. How about this? 4 for 9 with the first-time starters. ROI, one of her strongest, 318. So Committed Games, complexity can get you a first-timer. This horse is kin to Practical Move.
He won the a grade 1. Didn't he win the San Diego Derby?
I think he did.
I think he did, and that was going long. And now this dam loved to go long. Act Naughty, she was more of a turf horse, but she was stakes place. She earned a 96 buyer going long. You've got great connections. You've got great pedigree. You have to figure this horse is likely going to go show some ability, a $300,000 yearling. But there is some experience in this race and some horses that have shown a little bit of ability. We have a video spotlight on the number 3, Griffin's Wharf. This horse has hit the board in the last 3 starts in New York.
Yeah, we've got a couple horses in here that have raced. Griffin's Wharf, Frosted Bull, out of races where the winners ran some pretty stout buyers. 82 for the winner here, tracking error on the February 23rd. I thought this horse, all in all, got involved early, went ahead and pressed. Slight fade the last 1/8 of a mile. Dan, I thought the willingness was there, and I think certainly fits shipping in here for Tom Morley.
Just stuck between a rock and a hard place in this race, chasing this odds-on winner, hard chase on the turn, and then understandably tires. Ran into Captain Cook 2 starts back. That horse came back to win the Withers, I think, with a 94 buyer speed figure. So Griffin's Wharf has kept good competition. He obviously has a good amount of early speed, and if Committed Games is a little bit slow from the gate, maybe Griffin's Wharf just tries to take this race to him.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I think Griffin's Wharf involved right from the get-go. Let's Go JJ is a scratcher, and I was going to talk about that one. I want to talk about Frosted Bull a little bit. This is a horse that ran into a Brad Cox first-time starter. Line of Justice.
And Line of Justice just aired that day when all Brad Cox first-time starters were winning at Colonial
Yes, they
Downs.
were.
It was a speed track. Frosted Bull kind of got bumped at the start that day, had to alter course to the outside, but he ran on willingly. It was a really good learning debut for Frosted Bull. I like the fact that after that race, he came back with a bullet workout. It makes me think that he is still improving. I think he has some tactical speed and a little bit of a late kick, and I like that he debuted at a one-turn mile at Colonial. So he has plenty of foundation coming into this race. Now, he is listed as a gelding today. We believe he was a gelding first out.
Correct. Believe he was a gelding first time out. Reported. Okay, second dam. Also, success going long. You might see this guy transition to the turf as well because that family has had some success on the weeds. I like Frosted Bull back on its home track. Richie Barn trying to pick things back up. A little bit of a lull right now. I think they'll start getting back to their winning ways. Frosted Bull with that benefit of that long, with the big track down there. The stamina buildup is there for the 4 Frosted Bull. But, yeah, a lot of eyes. And we'll tap the tote. I'm sure Committed Games going to get a lot of action. But the Morley horse is going to be tough.
But all eyes are going to be on the well-connected, well-bred Committed Games, a $300,000 yearling purchase for Brittany Russell, 1436. I'll try to take a stab with a more experienced horse, Griffin's Wharf, 3, 4, 1, and 6. Let's move on to race number 3. Race number 3 is at 7/8 of a mile. This race is for fillies and mares, and it's a non-winner's a 3-life claimer, 25 down to 20. Please note that Michael Sanchez will be aboard the number 1, Bossy Kate. This is the opening leg of our 20-cent Chesapeake Pick 6, which comprises races 3 through 8 today. Pick the first place finisher in each of those 6 races, and if you're the only winner, you take down the whole pot of gold.
Oh, yeah, take it down, and then bring it back and reinvest. But this was a tricky race, Dan. I really struggled with 7/8 of a mile, this 3 in life. Society Ball, tepid, top selection. I think this little bit of a drop, second off the break, could pick her head up a little bit. She comes out of a race where they went pretty quick. She got a little bit further back than I would have liked to have seen her. She got bumped around at the break. That could have been part of it. She ramped it up late. 7/8, I think she can get closer. Stalk and pounce kind of trip for her. This is one of these races where when I dive in, I'm just going to probably take the best value of my top 3 selections and work them as my key in the exact. I don't know if it's going to be Society Ball. It might be the horse from the rail, Bossy Kate.
I think Bossy Kate's going to the lead from the inside post, and it'll be interesting to see if she can drop the anchor going 7/8. But Society Ball, as you mentioned, has plenty of angles in her favor. Not only is she dropping in class, not only is her second start off a long layoff, not only did she show a nice gallop out going 6, and I think is better going 7, but I'm off her today, which means she goes right to the winner's circle. I'm a big fan of Society Ball. I just didn't go with her this afternoon. Let's take a look at Cluck Cluck.
Okay.
We have a video spotlight for Cluck Cluck. And Cluck Cluck got beat at odds on by Quick Kwai, who's also in this race. But we do have Cluck Cluck, and let's watch Cluck Cluck here. Just kind of get pinched and pinballed a little bit in the early part of this race. And if you're betting Cluck Cluck is the favorite in here after getting beat at 2-5 the race before, you're starting to wonder, how is he going to come from last? Now, in our Laurel Park handicapping guide, we do have track trend and bias information. We do currently have this down as fair, but I think Dave Rodman believes that there was an outside lean. Maybe this helped Cluck Cluck, who made a 4-wide bid through the turn, is floated out even further wide, and then charged home.
Yeah, and I agree with Dave. I think the last maybe couple weeks, this racetrack, outer flow, quarter pole to the wire, maybe not a huge advantage, but a slight enough advantage, and it helped Cluck Cluck here after the early adversity. Really kind of leveled off nicely the last 3/16 of a mile to roll on past the widen by 4. Right back here. Very quick turnaround for Cluck Cluck. I've seen Claudia do okay in the past with these kind of horses, like saving something. And didn't know she'd probably be back this quick, but she's going to be. But Cluck Cluck, again, with a cleaner break, she can lay close enough against this group. It's really hard for me to kind of go ahead and pick the speed. You think Bossy Kate, I think Feeling So Lucky could possibly go. Hugh McMahon off those couple wins. But let me talk about the one Bossy Kate again real quick, because we do have a stat. This horse is dropping. Allowance to claiming. Miguel Rodriguez with a couple runners on today's card. This one. 2 years on last 2 years on the dirt, he's 4 for 15, 27%. Allowance to the claiming ranks, ROI of 461. We saw La Park's horse get it done yesterday, shipping down. That's the horse Dixie Groove that we had. Maybe Bossy Kate with an alert break can get forward in here, and I think definitely can stretch it from 6 to 7.
The horse that beat her last time out came back, earned a 59 buyer, placing in an open $7,500 claimer. So I think this horse really fits in the non-winners of 3 Life. Is an interesting long shot play. I want to talk a little bit about Candy Craze. First time off of the Frock claim. We do have a trainer stat. It's very limited, but it's positive. 2 for the last 10 with a $3.88 ROI. Frock off of the claim. This horse to me is just a little bit interesting. Getting blinkers for the first time off the claim. It's the 3rd start of the form cycle, and maybe turning back in distance is what this one's been waiting for.
You look at some of these buyers back on the page. Now, I know we're going back a little ways. 66 down at Churchill, a 77 at Ellis. And the 2-back try, the first off the layoff. So, yeah, you're going 3rd off the layoff here today. But that try at Charlestown gets the 2 in life. And you obviously probably got some horses that could have been in there that won more than 3 or 4 because of that West Virginia stipulation. I have to go back and check. But to make that kind of run from that post and that start speaks volumes for Candy Craze. A little turn back with the build-up off the mile and 16th here. Yeah, at 7/8 could just be right in her wheelhouse for Frock.
Might be the best pure closer in this race. Good to see Barbosa back in Maryland. Quickly about Quick Kwai, who got the better of Cluck Cluck last time out and might be a bigger price again.
I definitely think she's going to be a bigger price when you're looking at, how the play that Cluck Cluck took the last 2. I think Quick Kwai, I think you got it right about 4 to 1, 9 to 2 when it's all said and done. out there with J-Rod. Circling move could be in store. I think she has to step it up just a little bit more if she's going to win this race.
Fun race from a pace perspective. Fun
Yeah.
race from simply being a very competitive event. Keith's going 5.217. I'm going 2.675 in race number 3. Let's move on to race number 4. It's a one-turn mile, and it's a maiden claimer, 25 down to 20. Maryland breds have the option of running for the $30,000 price. Now, we're going to have likely a pretty big favorite in here, the 4 Key Stat. After all, Key Stat's been favored in what? 3 times in her career, and she's hit the board in 6 of 9 starts. This is the first leg of our late 50-cent value pick 5, low takeout, 12%. It really is a great wager, and our friend Mackenzie Pfeiffer has a ticket.
All right, here we go. A single to get you started again. Key Stat again. Everybody's going to this is going to be a popular single on today's card. Yes, he looks like the speed, the proven speed. Maybe Nancy Boys goes, but I thought held quite well. But you got that lurking. 6 seconds out of 9 starts. But you know what? Mackenzie's got faith. Get you started with the 4. I know she's trying to keep this ticket reasonable. Race number 5, 2, 3, and 4. Run and score arrow speed. We like that one in deadpan. And here's a race. Yes, wide open. Race number 6. Mackenzie goes 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. Captain Cardo is a horse I think is going to bring value to the table for you in race number 6. Finishes up 2 choices in races 7 and 8. The 2 and 5, Elvis himself. The race will probably go through him and Jayshul. Race 8, 6 and 7, General Maximus, and For the Love of Fun for a $30 late value pick 5. Again, a good solid handle on that bet yesterday. Let's improve today.
$30 ticket, and it all depends on Key Stat, the number 4. We have a video spotlight for Key Stat, a horse that has shown an ability to run second in a lot of the races, and you start to get to worrying after 9 starts, is this horse a professional maiden? Here's Key Start's most recent start, and he was involved in a early 4-ply pace duel, is going to press this 7-2 winner. He's just going to get second here, and this has been a problem for Key Stat. He doesn't finish off his races, and if you follow the gallop out here, it really wasn't that promising. He was tired. He was also going 7. Now he's going to stretch out to a mile with the second wire finish, but he does look like he's loose on the lead. And when Michael Pino takes experienced runners and routes them for the first time, they do well. 31%, 353 ROI.
Yeah, and you've got a horse, maybe Nancy's Boy, second off a little bit of a break, third lifetime start with Perez. Showed that speed in battle, against a little bit lesser. Let's see what he does. But he could be a real thorn in the side of Key Stat. And you saw that video. He was shorting just a little bit, giving in. At that kind of number, I've got to go elsewhere. You're going to use him. My Lucky Valentine, let's run this stat because I think this is the reasoning that's going to kind of get me over the top. For a horse that's run a little bit spotty in his races, I like him holding the level here, actually a little higher claiming tag here as for the Maryland breds with the condition. But Cal Lynch, experienced runners with the first-time blinkers, 5 for the last 14, 36%, 334 ROI. Has been long. Just might bring a little bit more focus to the table and enhance that run. Top of the stretch, maybe to just kind of wear down Key Stat.
I think you said a mouthful when you said this horse runs spotty.
Yes.
That's what happened last time out, was sitting outside, dropped back at the quarter pole like it was going to get nothing, eased out to the outside, ran on late, switches to J-Rod, gets the blinkers. I'm using My Lucky Valentine along with Key Stat in my pick 5s because I just think this horse might have a little bit more upside and might show a little bit more tactical speed. Armed and Dangerous, I think, is a really interesting horse because we've seen this angle work this week. Synthetic to dirt. Armed and Dangerous has been running in Kentucky where those horses seem to come up here and do very, very well. Ricky Silliman is having a tremendous year, 24% thus far in 2025. This horse was purchased for $12,500 at a digital sale out of the most recent start. There's some dirt pedigree here. The Dam was a Group 2 winner in Argentina on the dirt. The concern is this horse has broke slow in both starts thus far, but I think this one's going to handle the dirt. And if this pace somehow gets hot, this horse I think is the best closer.
Stamina shouldn't be an issue. She wanted a mile and 9/16, so I think you might be able to just go ahead and get the 1 turn mile. But you're right. Breeding suggests yes. We've seen the Synth the Dirt. I know I like that Kerry Raven runner yesterday, but tab that one coming back, a stumble out of the gate. The one from yesterday might improve next time out with a cleaner trip. Yeah, I like that one as kind of that stranger type, armed and dangerous.
You do with Uncle Gray, because you look
Yeah.
at that Beyer 2 starts back, and if he runs that race, he's going to be really tough. And we mentioned that when he ran last time out, dropping to the 12.5. And I watched that race again, and I don't know if he would have won with the clean trip,
Right.
but I thought he steadied really hard and had to change leads a little bit going into the turn. Got to the outside, then flopped back to his left lead again in the lane. Maybe getting out to a mile will help this horse. Another one that needs a little bit of pace and must prove that 60 Beyer isn't a fluke.
No, I like the effort. The willingness was there, and he got in trouble kind of in a little bit of a tricky spot, because when I was calling that chart, I almost missed it the first time I went back and looked. Yeah, he got in some trouble. He ran up on heels and then kind of worked, gathered himself a little bit, and finished up closing 5 lengths through that last eighth of a mile. So it's there. He was very eager, keen to go, got up into position 2 races back against Keystat, just couldn't make a dent from the quarter pole home. But again, the willingness is there. He's hard to leave out of my tries in Super in race number 4.
Keith's going 3-4-6-1. I'm going 4-3-1-2. Max singling the 4 in her late 12% takeout value pick 5 wager. 4 down, 4 to go on Sunday's edition of Today at the Races. We'll be back in a minute.
Baltimore! To the city of Baltimore, to all the fans watching around the world, riders up!
They're off in the Preakness.
All eyes of the world will be on Baltimore.
They're head and head. Seabiscuit leads by a length. Seabiscuit is the winner.
And it was a powerhouse race again by the big, strong Secretariat.
Sunday Silencer takes the lead at the quarter pole.
American Pharaoh, phenomenal in the Preakness, and the filly did it! Rachel Alexandra! Here is Smarty Jones! He wins the Preakness by a dozen lengths!
She's the brave, wins the Preakness.
Welcome back to Today at the Races. Certainly looking forward to Mother's Day at Pimlico, a very beloved event at Pimlico on May the 11th. So bring Mom out for a nice day at the races. There'll be some good food. There'll be some good racing action. And again, last chance to do it at Old Pimlico.
Absolutely, absolutely. Spent a lot of time. My mom no longer with us, but man, we had a lot of fun at the races. Her father, and I've talked about him before, Cecil Kaufman, he was an old press box mutual clerk, but prior to that, a jockey. Used to get on Native Dancer quite a bit. And our family, that's kind of how we got involved. And lots of great memories with Mom at the track. She was a pretty good handicapper, too. She did okay.
I think we got the Native Dancer coming up next week.
Okay.
All right.
There
Race
you go.
number 5 kicks off the second half of the card, and it's at 1.1 miles. This is a nice first level allowance. We're going to take out the number 1 round top, which leaves us with a field of 6. The 2 Run and Score will be ridden by Michael Sanchez. This is also the first leg of our final 50-cent pick 4 of the week. Again, the payouts have been excellent thus far this week, and we're hoping for more of the same.
Yes. 1.1 miles. Interesting. This race, I'm going to trust in Ness. I'm going to trust at Aero Speed back in the barn of Jamie Ness. He might have the whole card. Dan, what do you think? Do you think he just goes ahead and goes? Because I worry that a horse like White Series and a Collection Day, maybe even Run and Score, could be also having the same thoughts. We want to go forward. But this guy on his best, he's run a couple big races. His best number from just off of it.
I agree.
I'm hoping for that kind of
I think
trip.
Run and Score is going, and I
Okay.
think J-Rod is going to have Arrow Speed just sitting second. Now, when you look at Arrow Speed's most recent starts, you get a little bit worried, but then you realize that this horse has now been transferred back to Ness. This horse ran for Ness last year. 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds and ran very well over this course. He has very competitive speed figures in this race, and he's going to be a good price in here because we have the number 4 Deadpan in here for Brittany Russell. And let's talk a little bit about Deadpan. We have a video spotlight for Deadpan. I believe this race was at Colonial Downs, and it was his first ever race on dirt. These connections purchased this horse for $55,000 in January, and this is the first start for the connections, and kind of chasing outside over a track that I thought was speed friendly for most of the day. A long 3-wide move into it, really going after this horse, this odds-on horse on the lead, and eventually flattens out just a little bit.
Yeah, that was Supreme Law, I believe, for Ness, and makes a pretty prolonged run. And you're talking about that racetrack, and it gets it on the top of the stretch, and you still got a long way to go. He's able to kind of get right involved here past the mid-stretch, just can't quite hold off. You've got a Peter Yurton horse that came in and is going to roll by from the outside. But all in all, I think it was an encouraging try, first time on the dirt. Might even improve off of that effort here today.
He showed a lot of heart in getting ahead of Supreme Law, who did some really good things over the winter here, and then came back and earned an 86 Beyer speed figure when third in a conditioned allowance race at Aqueduct. Brittany recently has been on fire. March 18th, March 29th, 43% winners, $2.24 return on investment. Deadpan second off the layoff, just a horse that looks like distance is going to be his friend. I wonder what kind of setup he's going to get if the pace is slow. He might need some help.
Like I say, run and score, White Series, Collection Day. Very interesting. I think if Collection Day gets a patient ride, he's got a chance to make a little run from just off of it. And his numbers stack up. They work for me in here a little bit. I'm going to use them underneath it of a price. But Deadpan, no reason. I think with run and score speed, should be able to drop in almost within that first quarter of a mile, have a chance to save ground and avoid that overland run that he had last time out. That just took enough starch out of him down at Colonial.
A run and score, I thought, ran a similar race to Deadpan last time out because he was chasing the eventual fourth-place finisher through some solid fractions, ended up making the lead from that horse, and then a closer ran him down in the stretch. This horse has been in really good form in both starts since returning off of a layoff. I just think he's going to be sharp in here. He might have to have him nailed on tight, though, to beat our top 2 selections.
Absolutely. I think he's going to need a perfect trip, well-timed move, and the staying power of the last 16th of a mile. We shall see Mike Sanchez to ride, run, and score. But this horse is kind of back on his game, gelded September 24th. So only a few races under his belt as a gelding. A player in here, no doubt.
You're going 3-4-2-7. I'm going 4-3-2-5. I'm leaning 4-3 in our late multiple race wagers. Race number 6, 1-turn mile condition claimers. We love these kind of horses because they're hard hitters. 3 and up, 7,500 down to 6. Non-winners of 2 since October the 6th, or non-winners of 4 lifetime. It's the first leg of our $1 jackpot super high 5, which we paid out yesterday. Mandatory 50-cent pick 4, not in this race, but that's okay. We do have 2, first 4 and a late second 2 through 5, and of course 5 through 8.
In
race
number
number 6,
Dan.
we do have a pick 3.
Yeah,
we got doubles, we got pick 3s, we got everything
got
in
a
here.
pick
You know, I
three
love
here.
playing those doubles, and I love playing those pick 3s. And I'm going to probably need to get out after being knocked out of the pick 5 and the pick 4. Let's talk a little bit about race number 6. Divine Armor is your top selection in this race. You believe in Ness.
I'm going to have to. Again, we land Ness. We had J-Ron. I guess I could, do worse, but I'm just guessing. I don't have a whole lot of faith in my selection in this race. Now, my value does come, and then, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag with Captain Carter. But I just think, again, El Delary, Dilich Vita, Everett Song, just the relief is going to be enough to pick this horse's head up. I'm just suspect. I think you've got Break the Change, Energy Efficient, Quincannon. There's going to be enough flow. This guy's been a little bit of a laggard, Divine Armor, but maybe – we've got J-Rod back on, can kind of pick it up with that high and wide run through the last quarter of a mile.
See, we rarely disagree vehemently, but
Yeah,
I'm
we
going to
do,
disagree vehemently in here. If Divine Armor wins, I'm out of everything.
And that's Rodman, I believe, is the same way here in this race.
He's a one-run closer.
Yeah.
I don't see the plethora of speed in this race that you have. He has a tendency to settle for minor awards. He is dropping in class. He was in against El Delary. You came back, ran second with a 73 Beyer speed figure, and is a good horse. Maybe he's just classier than these, but I don't know if I want to give up 8, 9 9 lengths and try to run these horses down. The problem is Captain Cardo is going to be giving up 8, 9 lengths and is going to have to try to run these horses down. Captain Cardo, I thought, ran pretty well last time out. He swung 4 wide up in the stretch. He got up for second behind Minister for Magic, who ran really, really well that day. I think Captain Cardo was just rounding back into form for Jose Corrales, who had 3 winners the other day early this week. I believe it was on Friday. I'm using Captain Cardo. I'm also using the 3 Always Gambling. We have not seen this horse for 107 days after a potential claim was voided by the vet at Penn National. He just couldn't put away the winner in the stretch. Maybe it was a hang job that day for Always Gambling, but I just think this freshening is going to work for him.
Yeah, he should enjoy a perfect trip, because I don't think he's going to try to get involved immediately with horses like Energy Efficient and Quincannon. It's the finish and a little bit of a layoff that he's going to bring off of this. I'm not sure. I don't completely trust Always Gambling. If I get enough value, if I see Captain Cardo around 8-1, it's probably going to be the way I'm going to approach the race. Key him in exactas, top and bottom. I will use Always Gambling a little bit. You're right, Divine Armor, and at the price he's probably going to be because of the Ness Rodriguez factor, probably not the wisest of decisions.
Energy Efficient has a major excuse for the last race. We have a video spotlight for Energy Efficient, a horse that likes to be close to the pace, could be one of the pace setters in this race, was not allowed to be the pace setter in this race. Watch the break for this gray horse, just pounced around at the start. And when that happens and you take a horse out of his game, it usually doesn't work out.
Doesn't work out, and it didn't work out at all here. He just got disinterested right out from the get-go. And, if you notice, can we show that one more time, guys, if we can? Even coming out of the gate, he was a little headstrong. Watch a little bit right there. Just tossed the head a little bit and created a little trouble. But definitely that horse to the outside of him made matters just tremendously worse. Even the far outside horse drifted in a touch. But Energy Efficient, better break today, because I don't think he's going to be a horse that's going to make a run from 3 or 4 out of it against this group. Quincannon just to the outside, who actually beat Energy Efficient a few races back. I tell you, he took more money in that race on the 23rd, a little bit more positional speed, albeit had a better break, but he looks to me like if there's anybody that's going to maybe be able to separate with a sharper move around the turn, it could be this guy.
I think there's a chance he's in front when they turn into the long stretch. He's dropping back to a winning level. Last time he was at this level, 4 starts back, he won. Last time out, he was pulling early while in between horses. I think he wants to be more free range out there on the lead, and I think Yohan Rosado is going to try to send him out there. Last time he was in a little tough. He had to angle an altar course 5 wide into the stretch. I want to give him another chance. I'm using 137 in my pick. You're going 5176. I'm going 137 in a good race.
Does Break the Change scare you at all? McMahon had 2 horses just run huge yesterday. This is a West Virginia bred. Plummets down to 75. Look at that race going back February of 24, Laurel. Now, granted, got away with 25 and 3, but the numbers are in the dance. Masakata, we've seen these horses kind of match up against some okay horses.
He's a key to the race because he has speed. Energy Efficient is a key to the race because he has speed. Quincannon is a key to the race because he has speed. If those 3 go out there, all of a sudden, J. Rod and J. Ness and you are looking very, very good.
And so is Captain Cardo and Corrales
and so is Captain Cardo and Corrales and
okay.
Brasino. But it should be a fun race, and it might be a jockey's race as well. 5176 again for Keith, 1372 for me.
All right.
Late daily double time. Let's move on to race number 7. We got 6 in here and 6 pretty good runners.
Yeah.
This is an allowance race for Maryland-bred or sired performers. Keith, you're going to go with the number 5. Jaycial?
I'm just gonna.
I like Jaycial myself.
I'm just gonna whisper the name because I don't want to get in trouble for not pronouncing it correctly. So Jaycial.
But we have a video spotlight for Jaycial, and he is on our horses to watch list on our handicapping guide.
And we're gonna pick this up in the start, January the 24th. Steadied start, 4 wide, and you saw that right from the get-go, right there. Trouble again, in tight soon after the break. Finds itself 6-7 out of it already, leaving the chute out onto the main track. But I thought, all in all, after being fan very wide, 7-8 wide top of the stretch, brings a pretty good run and comes off the break with some good works leading in. We know this trainer, Katie Voss, year in and year out, doesn't run a slew of horses, but when this route, the sprint, off a little time, it usually, it proves, provides some dividend. I think Jay Shill's a player in here. Now, granted, is he going to get the duel that he might need? Elvis himself, certainly very fast. I think the key to the race is Restless. What does he do from the inside?
I think Elvis himself is simply faster than Restless, and that's
Yep.
the way I'm
Could be
gambling on it. And that worries me with Jay Schill, although he did win going route to sprint 2 starts back, but that was route to sprint going 7.
7.
Now
Yep.
going 6 with a fast horse like Elvis himself expected to make the lead. That could be a little bit worrisome, especially off a layoff, or maybe they're prepping him for this race to go a little bit longer down the road. He does have a lot of ability. Crossland, who he was in against last time out, came back to earn Byers 81.78 in the next 2 starts. Let's talk now about my top pick in here, Carvelian Quest. We do have a stat for Horacio De Paz. And second off 6-month to 1-year layoffs, 5 for the last 20 with a 281 ROI. Carvelian Quest I liked a little bit last time out, despite the fact he was returning off such a long layoff. And let's be honest, he did not run well at all.
No.
He was in there against Elvis himself, who basically ran Carvelian Quest off of his feet, and he never fired. Usually you see a race like that and you think this horse is going to be dropping in for a tag.
Right.
The fact that they're keeping him protected in a first-level allowance makes me think that they feel he needed that last race. And it's worth noting, he graduated in his second start off a 259-day break back in 2023. So this is a pattern that's worked for Carvelian Quest. I'd like to see him stay a little bit closer to the pace as he did 2 starts back, because I'm not sure he could make up the ground if Elvis himself gets loose.
Right. Elvis himself, he's quick, very, very quick. He's had the lead, but he did run that 2 races back. It was an 84 buyer. If he runs an 84 today, lights out 1-2 tree, right? Like Bruno Sammartino back in the day. So Elvis himself, did we run that video?
We're going to run it right now.
Yeah, the
Elvis
23rd.
himself.
Yeah. Let's go ahead
We
and
have
take a look
Elvis
at that.
himself, Herd on the Street, Carvelian Quest. They're all in this race,
Yeah.
and Elvis himself is just getting hooked up in here. He broke sharp. He's pressing Haley's first notion, who was ready to go second off the layoff in this race, and he's a little bit late to change leads. This was a race that had a spill, but the way Haley's first notion was training coming up into this race, and he's a pretty good horse in his own right. I thought Elvis himself, all in all, did pretty well to run second. Herd on the Street ends up running third in here. Carvelian Quest was nowhere.
Definitely would have expected Herd on the Street to get by him there, and he did not. Elvis himself dug in. Now we're out to 6 furlongs again. The road goes through Elvis.
But the problem with your analogy with Bruno Sammartino is you said 1, 2, 3. Didn't he usually win with the bear hug by submission or the over-the-top backbreaker by submission? Very few 1, 2, 3s
1, 2,
from
3.
Bruno Sammartino.
There you go.
3,
Okay.
2, 5, 4 for my 5, 4, 2, and 3.
Lights
for
out.
Keith. Let's go to race number 8. 5.5 furlongs, 12.5 down to 10. Maryland breds eligible for the 15. Let's take out the number 1, Speedy Alex. There does look like there's a good amount of speed in this race. Let's start things off with the 7, For the Love of Run, who's returning off of a lengthy layoff. And he is listed as a gelding today, but we've been told he's been running as a gelding.
Been running as a gelding. And let's look at the stat that we have For the Love of Fun and Cal Lynch.
Maiden special to maiden claiming, 24%, $2.16 return on investment. For the Love of Run has not run in a very long time, over 300 days. But the last time he did run, he was 7-5 against It's Hammer Time, who was one of Gary Capp's better 2-year-olds and is working back to get back on track for his 3-year-old year. He kind of hopped at the start. He got bumped a little bit. He rushed up to set the pace, and then he tired going 5/8 of a mile, going 5.5 from the outside post. I'm hoping he's not the need-to-lead type. He is with the D Hoppers of the world in this race. I don't know if he can make the lead.
No, I'm not. Yeah, D Hopper, General Maximus as well. It's got some speed, but I think D Hopper is going to go ahead and go For the Love of Fun. Just needs a little bit of rating. We're off the break, yes, but we got Lasix on. I think just if this horse can relax a little bit, we'll be able to finish up through the lane.
General Maximus is another horse that's dropping in class. He's never been this cheap. He's another horse that I think can stalk from the outside. I know he went to the lead last time out. He set the pace inside a horse that ran third. Couldn't get by that one. But I just think this drop is going to help. And again, the outside post, you know D Hopper is going to go. Maybe he's just pushing in second.
I think he's going to press, right. I think he could emerge, too. There's a possible chance he could kind kind of go ahead and get command top of the stretch. Can he finish? He's burned me a couple times. That's the problem. I've lost a little faith in General Maximus.
This is a giant cutback in distance for the 3 on Secret Service, but you could argue this horse is getting a little bit of a class drop. He was wired by the favorite going 2 turns at Penn National last time out, and the runner-up from that race came back, won with a 56 Beyer speed figure, which would certainly be strong in this spot. He needs pace. He might get it.
I think he's definitely going to get it, and if it comes down to late in the day, we're looking for a horse to make it work around on Secret Service in your exactas, tries, and supers. I think this is the horse you can run him at second and third, a little bit of a win bet, and then work those other horses around, because I think he's definitely going to hold some value.
And if you're looking for a price in the multiple race wagers, like the Lake Value Pick 5, use the 4 Big Dilemma, because this is another horse dropping in class. And last time out, he was wired in a race where they ran 1-2 around the track. He tried to push the pace while 3 wide and in between horses, fell back, didn't do much. I just think they're going to be a lot more patient with him this time around.
Yeah, no reason to get involved early. And you look at the first start, the old outrun, swung wide, and just kind of holding Poe. Leads me to believe there might be a little bit left for a stretch run, especially with a race with some questionable speed types.
So we're hoping no rust off the layoff for the 7 for the love of run. He's our top pick. We both go 7-6. You go 7-6-3-2. I go 7-6-4-3 in the finale at Laurel Park. Best play time. Where are you going? Make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's a little value. We got tops of the charts yesterday, got hammered down late. Captain Cardo's not a horse I have on top. You have this one on top, but I just think he'll stay around that morning line, 6-1.
And he's the number 1.
Yeah, he is. Yes. Oh, that's right. He is the number 1. That's my bad. What was I looking at? 6 race to 1, guys. That's my fault. But anyhow, I think he's ramping back up. I think he can pair numbers. Mid-60s can get it done. I like the way he finished up very wide last time. Patience, save ground. There's a little bit of speed that will come back. He's a user in that 1-2-3 position.
I'm not going to give up on Carvelian Quest just yet in race number 7. He's the number 3 in here, and he didn't do much last time out, but I like the fact that it's second off the layoff, no drop. Maybe he's a little sharper out of the gate this time around. There are some interesting plays on this 8-race card. Callie Francois, Mackenzie Pfeiffer, Dave Rodman. They'll take you through all the action throughout the day, and Dave Rodman's ready to go right now with scratches and changes.
All right, good luck, everybody.